Superficially, I can tell you that all the relevant stakeholders in that industry have been met, have been discussed with, have been engaged, and all the parameters laid out. And the Minister of Transportation has the full details and is on top of the game. In fact, the president of the various transport unions and all of that, he has met with them severally. And they have given us their own side of the case. We have had to haggle and negotiate and all of that. And everything is in top shape in terms of execution. And that was why this idea did not emanate today. It had been in the works. And before we now came to this conclusion of publicizing it, making it public, all the I's have been dotted, all the T's have been crossed, and we have gotten the understanding of the various stakeholders, especially the transport unions. Of course, for that of railway is even more straightforward because it's just one organization, and the Minister of Transport has concluded all the details with that. And for emphasis, for railways, it is 100% rebate. It is absolutely, totally free for this period, 21st December to 4th of January. It is for the land transportation that is 50% because it is more, it is wider and more exhaustive, So, with regards to a corollary issue of this, which was asked by somebody out there, about the transport owners or operators suddenly increasing their fares because of this announcement, that also has been taken care of. In the various engagements that we've had with them, as led by the Minister of Transportation, we had asked them their costs, which after announcement must not increase. And the rebate given to Nigerians, these transport owners will be paid for that rebate because they will not unilaterally reduce. So government will bear the cost of the 50%. And so the figure that government will bear has already been determined across board, across all the transport operators and unions. So there is no issue of somebody just immediately increasing the fares because the government is going to bear 50% of it. No, that has been settled. So we had taken care of all the contentious issues before we decided to now come and publicize. So there is going to be a seamless execution, and the Minister of Transport is on top of it as we speak. In fact, you will notice that he came a little bit late because he was involved in all these the details of execution and of the logistics. So absolutely there is no problem. The other issue is on air travel. Somebody mentioned air travel, I think the Nation. Now, that was also considered, but at the end of the day, the president's initiative is to give succor to the masses. And if we are to be true to ourselves, the masses don't take air travel. They go by land. In fact, this is amongst us. If you had not eaten once or twice, not to talk of thrice a day, you can't think of going to buy air tickets. So it is only the real masses, the poor, that patronize land transportation, especially rail, because it's the cheapest. So this presidential initiative is targeted at the very lower levels, and that is land transportation. That's why air is luxury. The logistics issue we've taken care of. The cost, somebody asked, what is the cost of all of this? Now, the cost is not important when you want to give succor to the masses, especially when it's not an ad infinitum kind of policy. It's for a couple of days. So the cost is not prohibitive beyond the affordability of government. And again, we run a presidential system of government. I always tell people, in a presidential system of government, an executive presidency like we run, when the president has a priority policy to execute, and that policy is to target humanity, cost becomes negligible and infinitesimal. That is the idea. The date, again, that is prescribed, December 21 to January 4. It is assumed and believed that it is within this period that people want to go to their various, states. Then somebody mentioned grassroots, or intra-state. Now, the cost of intra-state travels is not as exorbitant as the cost interstate. Don't also forget that there are so many forms of communication and transportation, intra. But inter is where the people who go out of their states to work, like in the major centers, in the urban centers. That's where the bulk of the travelers actually are. And that is why the bulk is targeted. So it is interstate. Thank you. Any more? It's a pertinent question, really. It's a pertinent question. It's not unheard of. It is a legitimate question. But I can tell you that you are one of those that will benefit. Yes, because you will travel, right? So you are one of them. The idea is it is open-ended between tomorrow 21st and January 4 with those interstate travels. So we are not going to, if we say only 100,000 people, it means that after the exhaustion of the 100,000, the rest will not be opportune. So we cannot say it is this particular figure right now so as to allow as many Nigerians that are willing and able to do so to enjoy this benefit. You see, these bus owners, especially the luxury buses, they have a structured, system. They have a manifest, and they have a capacity. We know the number of seats in each bus. So it's not something that is just amorphous, opaque, or bogus. And there are statistics that they've been working on before now. And we used all of these parameters, the statistics, even for last year and for this year, giving room for the inflation. So we cannot say, for instance, if you enter, there is no bus that does not have a number of seats that everybody can calculate. So even if there is a crowd, the bus has a limited space. Each bus has a limited number of seats. So, and we are saying government is giving 50% rebate. So if for instance, I'm a transporter and I bring a bus of 100-seater capacity, automatically I know how much I make with full capacity. So definitely what I will make now, what the public will pay will be 50%. But I'll still make my 100% capacity. That's where government comes in with the rebate. So it's seamless. And don't also forget that we said that the president has directed the police, the DSS, the military, and all security agencies to be on the alert.